When news broke that South Africa's Deputy President Paul Mashatile had purchased a R28 million mansion in one of Cape Town's most exclusive neighborhoods, the country was left stunned. The transaction wasn't financed through a loan or any sort of mortgage. No, this property was paid for in full in cash. Not long after, another shocking revelation surfaced. Mashatile had also acquired a second luxury home worth of 37 million in the upscale Waterfall estate, also reportedly paid for through a suspiciously similar process. These were not just ordinary real estate purchases. They were extravagant, eye-popping, eyebrow-raising acquisitions that quickly triggered the attention of South Africa's elite anti-corruption unit, the Hawks. Now, with multiple agencies investigating and the public watching closely, the story surrounding poor Mashatile is quickly snowballing into what many are calling one of the biggest political corruption scandals of recent years. To understand how we got here, we need to step back and look at who Paul Mashatile is and how his journey through the South African political system has brought him to this moment. Mashatile has been a prominent figure in the ruling African National Congress for decades. He rose through the ranks as a political activist during the anti-apartheid era and later became a member of the Executive Council in Gauteng, South Africa's richest and most economically important province. Over the years, he gained a reputation for being politically savvy, connected, and deeply entrenched in the structures of the ANC. He was known not only for his strategic mind but also for his close ties to powerful business figures and key players within the party. By 2022, he had climbed all the way to the position of Deputy President, the second highest office in the country. As more information came to light, the pieces of the puzzle started forming a troubling picture. It was reported that some of these property deals were facilitated through Mashatile's sons, who were allegedly involved in securing tenders from departments where Mashatile had influence. These tenders were worth millions, sometimes even billions of rands, and critics quickly pointed out that many of the projects funded through these tenders were either incomplete or never even started. That means taxpayers may have been funding deals that ended up in the pockets of politically connected families without receiving any benefit in return. This kind of behavior is exactly what the Hawks, the Special Investigating Unit, and the Office of the Public Protector are now examining in great detail. Their goal is to determine whether any laws were broken, whether government processes were manipulated, and whether any public funds were misused for personal gain. The investigation could take months, but already the signs are pointing toward a serious breach of public trust. The public reaction has been swift and intense. Many South Africans are furious. They feel betrayed by leaders who are supposed to serve the people, but instead seem to be enriching themselves. The outrage is not just about the homes or the money involved. It's about the pattern. It's about a country that has been promised change, accountability, and justice, but keeps being dragged back into a cycle of corruption scandals and broken trust. For citizens who have waited for years to see real progress, this is deeply disheartening. It's not just a matter of politics anymore. It's personal. People see roads falling apart, schools underfunded, hospitals without medicine, and then they see a politician buying multi-million rand homes in cash. The contrast is painful, and the anger is justified. With the elections approaching, this couldn't have come at a worse time for the ANC. Already battling declining popularity, internal divisions, and a loss of public confidence, the party now has to defend itself against yet another scandal tied to one of its top leaders. And this is not just any leader. This is the deputy president, someone expected to be a role model for leadership and integrity. Analysts believe this could have serious consequences for the party's future. If Mashatile is formally charged or removed, it could trigger a leadership crisis within the ANC. If he remains in power, the ANC risks alienating even more of its supporters who are tired of empty promises. Either way, the pressure is building. The investigation is moving forward and the political stakes are growing by the day. What happens next will depend on what the investigators find and how far they are willing to go. If the Hawks and SIU uncover solid evidence of corruption, we could see a dramatic legal battle unfold, one that might drag more politicians and business people into the spotlight. There's also the question of accountability within the ANC itself. Will the party clean house and show it's serious about fighting corruption, or will it close ranks to protect one of its own as it has done in the past? There is also a moral question here. Should someone under investigation for corruption remain in one of the highest offices in the land? Does holding on to power while surrounded by allegations send the right message to the public? The longer this drags on, the more damage it does to the credibility of government institutions. Trust is fragile, and once it's broken, it's very hard to repair. The South African public deserves clear answers. It's also worth asking what kind of checks and balances are in place to prevent this sort of situation from happening again. Are there enough safeguards in place to track suspicious transactions, especially when they involve public officials? If not, what needs to change? Corruption thrives in silence. And when oversight is weak, it's the people who pay the price. Whether it's through overpaid tenders, unfinished projects, or stolen funds, the end result is always the same. Communities left behind, services collapsing, and hope fading. South Africa has had its share of political scandals, but each new one seems to cut deeper than the last. There is a growing sense of fatigue, a weariness from citizens who just want honest leadership and basic accountability. Yet, there is also resilience. Civil society, journalists, and watchdogs are continuing to do the work that democracy demands. They are asking hard questions, filing court cases, digging for the truth, and their efforts are crucial now more than ever. The outcome of this case could shape the future of South African politics for years to come. If justice is served, it could mark a turning point. If not, it could signal that corruption still has a firm grip on the country's leadership. As investigations continue and more information comes to light, one thing remains clear. This story is far from over. The public will be watching closely, and how the government responds will define its credibility moving forward. In a country still striving to build a transparent, just, and democratic society, the stakes could not be higher. The people deserve answers. They deserve better, and they are demanding it loudly. If you found this video informative and want to stay updated on everything happening in South African politics, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. And don't forget to leave a comment down below. Do you think BOMBSHELL should resign? Should the ANC take stronger action? We want to hear your thoughts. Thanks so much for watching. Stay informed, stay engaged, and we'll see you in the next one.